3, 2, 1. What's up, Jennie?
Not much, Mike.
All right, so we're here with Hardly Adults, and we're going to ask some questions because Jennie's been to some Comic-Con type events, right?
Yeah, I've been to a couple.
And intoxicated for part of them, but, you know.
Majority.
That's a good thing. That makes for good stories. So, first things first, let's give a little intro for Jennie. Jennie is Chris's wife, so she's gone to a lot of conventions. She lived in Portland as well for a long time, so there was a bunch of events over there.
Yeah, that's where most of them were.
Yeah, and Portland was an awesome city. I mean, I miss it, honestly. There was a lot of cool events that we got to go to, not just, as far as Comic-Con goes and whatnot, but first things first, let's ask, what conventions have you been to?
I worked at WizCon, and then I've attended WizCon once, and then I've been to KomoriCon twice, and then a variety of different furry conventions.
KomoriCon?
Yeah, KomoriCon, it's like a smaller version of Comic-Con. I mainly go for like the cosplay and like the merchandise and all that kind of stuff. It's super fun. Like, people go all out with their costumes.
Oh man, I got some questions about costumes, honestly, but first things first, what were your favorite comics? Or booths, I guess would be a better term.
I don't know what would be my favorite booths. I don't remember a whole lot of the booths.
I'm sure there was a bunch.
There was a ton. And there's even more now because it's gotten so much bigger.
What were some of the ones that you remember?
I know there was one that sold a lot of different types of like food and drinks from like Japan and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, so those were pretty cool because I got to try a lot of different ones of those. I don't remember the names of them.
Oh, but. Yeah, I know. I'm sure that all the names on that were probably pretty crazy and hard to pronounce.
Yeah, I know one of the big ones was Pocky. Like, you can't run out of Pocky at an anime convention.
Is that those little, like, sticks, those cookie sticks or whatever?
Yeah, they're like breadsticks and like dipped in chocolate. They're super good.
Yeah.
And now they have them in like strawberries and cookies and cream and all different kinds of stuff. But I'm a classic chocolate kind of person.
Oh yeah, me too. I actually got to try those because my brother dated a girl who had gone to Japan. She was from Korea, and so we got to try a few of those things, like the super, super spicy ramen and stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of that stuff there too, but I'm not a spicy person. So.
Oh, you missed out. I did the spicy ramen, and I only did like half a one because they were like, oh, you're going to die. It was not that hot. It was easily doable. I could have eaten.
It's really fun when you're really drunk and you have one of the really spicy ramen bowls and you try and eat it with Pocky as chopsticks.
Oh,
and you got to try and eat it before the Pocky dissolves in the sauce. It's
that
like
is
I said,
a
not
challenge.
my thing, but I've watched a few people do it at the conventions.
That is a challenge. That would be difficult.
Yeah, it was funny to watch.
So, what were some of the biggest groups that were represented at the conventions? It sounds like there were Trekkies and a few other different
The only
major
time I
groups.
ran into Trekkies was at a furry convention, and that was really
No
interesting.
way.
But yeah, it was weird. I got kicked out of the room.
Star Trek furries.
I don't think they knew it was a furry convention when they decided to host their Trekkie convention. Apparently, they're not very fond of girls.
Aww.
But I was like, hey, I'm already on the party floor, and I already went through all the furry rooms for the alcohol, so I'm gonna come in here and hang out with you guys and drink.
Yeah, they better let some people in. I mean, that's how you get a party started, honestly.
Yeah, well, and it was like the hotel we were at, because this was one of the bigger ones in California, the Further Confusion.
Oh.
And they have a whole room that's, yeah, lots of fur plays. They had like a whole floor that was dedicated just to like a party floor. The furries all had like a connecting balcony, and so it was pretty great. And then they had the Trekkies in like one big room on the other side.
That's crazy.
And, yeah, they get really into it. Like, I thought furs and like the anime people were like super into it, but Trekkies take it to like a whole new level. Like, they're weird.
So you went to some anime conventions as well?
Yeah, mainly KomoriCon, and then WizCon is one that I worked at and I attended once, but I don't really remember much of the one I attended.
So with WizCon, how were you working there?
So at the time, I was working at the radio station in Portland, and I was there with Clyde Lewis, who's kind of a joke. But we were there with him, and I don't work there anymore, so I can say it.
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah. And so I was working with him, and like I said, he's kind of a joke. He's like, "Oh yeah, my autograph is $10," and it's like, dude, you aren't even in the main part of the convention.
Charging for autographs.
Yeah, well,
wow.
he's Clyde Lewis, so he can do what he wants.
Lame.
But it was really cool because we actually had the KomoriCon booth set up right next to us.
Oh,
and
what?
one of my childhood friends, like we reconnected recently right before then, and she helps run KomoriCon.
Gotcha.
Which is where I got this awesome KomoriCon hoodie.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. We'll have to take a picture of that and post it to the Facebook page. Let everybody check it out. So, did you have a lot of, like, what were some of the stories from the KomoriCon?
Well, a lot of the ones with KomoriCon is kind of helping some of my friends like get in their cosplay and stuff. It was really interesting, like especially when you have like the girls cosplaying as guys.
Yeah.
Like that definitely got interesting. I had no idea what they put themselves through just to be able to pull off the characters as well as they do.
Oh my god, yeah. I bet. Makeup and everything.
The worst part is the saran wrap binders that they use because those hold better than the fabric ones apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play a guy, you can't have big chests.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So they would just saran wrap around the boob area and just suck it in tight?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, they'll have whoever's dressing up, like, they stand really straight and tall and hold their arms up, and then someone else goes around them a few times with saran wrap.
Oh,
that's
that
why,
sounds
like,
awful.
if you see them, like, out at conventions, like, yeah, they look happy and they're having fun, and they love getting comments on their costumes, because, like, they put a lot of work into it. But you never see them out there for a long period of time. Like, one individual, she could only be in her costume for, like, I think 20 minutes was, like, her max.
Oh, wow.
Saran wrap doesn't breathe.
No.
And it doesn't give. And so
just sweating and you have no lung capacity or anything.
Like, it takes, like, an hour to get some of those costumes on and looking perfect just for, like, 20 minutes of, like, going out, having a good time, making other people happy.
Yeah. So what were some of the costumes that they were putting on? What were the characters?
I don't remember the ones that my friends were doing. They were from some, like, I know one was from, like, mostly oddball cartoons, and animes. One of the ones was from Dragon Ball Z. They're dressing up as Goku, so that one we didn't have to bind as tight for that. But
wow,
that's a trip. They look just like it. It's like you're just kind of plucking them out of the anime, and there they are.
Whoa, that's a trip. How much did they spend on some of these costumes?
I'm not sure how much they spent on them. A lot of them, like, they'll go to, like, the fabric stores and stuff, and they make them themselves. Like, I mean, you do have the people who go out and they just buy the costumes, and you have people who, like, they take in commissions, and they'll make you something just for your body of whatever character you want.
So it's not like furries where you're spending, $5,000, $6,000. I'm sure some do.
It can be depending on what it is, but
it's possible to do it without that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I think most of the money gets spent on the hairstyling, because anime characters, a lot of them have the hair that goes in different directions, and it stays there, so you've got to get, like, all the different colors of, like, hair cement and everything. And
do they just use their natural hair, or were a lot of them
Some
using
of them
wigs?
do. The ones that I knew there, they were doing it with their regular hair.
Oh, wow.
And so that took... I mean, like I said, it takes, like, sometimes an hour to get ready for 20 minutes.
No doubt.
But there are people who do, like, wigs, and they'll have, like, different wigs custom made for different characters that they do.
Oh, wow, that is crazy. The wigs would be something else, because now you got all that on, plus the saran wrap.
Well, and you have to style the wigs, too.
Oh, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's why I stick with furry stuff.
Yeah, right? Throw a costume on, and then you don't have to worry about it. So, I take it a lot of people were just normal people, not just a bunch of nerds, like, people like to make it like are at Comic-Con,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of a nerd, so I guess to me they're normal, but most times if you see them out in the road and stuff, they're just going to be normal people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody always likes to make it like, oh, Comic-Con or cosplay. They're just a bunch of nerds. And I get the feeling now that I've actually been involved or talked to some people about this stuff that's not necessarily the case.
Well, and even if it was the case, it's not a bad thing. I mean, most nerds are like stupid smart.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you have to think about like, okay, this is how long I can last in this costume, but first we got to make this costume. And like they plan out like where they're going to be all the time, like most of them do, because you want to hit like the biggest audience when you're, especially if you're in costume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so you have to look at like, okay, what panels are going on, because they have panels for all different things at the conventions. If you're going to go out and you want to get a lot of attention, is it going to be at the same time that they're going to be having the guests of honor go out, because you're not going to compete with the guests of honor. Like at WizCon, they had some of the Walking Dead stars there when I was there. And
What?
yeah, I mean, Norman Reedus wasn't there. He's my favorite.
You guys even do a Walking Dead night.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
crazy.
It was great. But so it's like, I mean, you got to check and see like what else is going on, because there's a lot going on at all of these conventions.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So what kind of activities did they have available? Were there like a lot of games and stuff like that?
Yeah, they have rooms set out. So the hotels usually accommodate with a whole bunch of different rooms to use, and so they have like dancing contests, they have lip syncing contests, for people who want to like go all out and perform. They have rooms that are there just for gaming with different types of games, and they'll have different types going on all throughout the day.
Oh, wow.
They'll have like speakers and performers, and I mean obviously the guests of honor go out and do their thing. And
who was speaking at the WizCon that you were attending?
The one that I attended was the one where they had Walking Dead there.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance
So
to
that was
go
the
to
panel
their panel when they were up, but
Oh,
yeah.
darn. That would have been
I'm not a
cool.
big panel person though, so I don't really go to a lot of the panels.
You don't have a lot of questions for them?
Not really. I mean, I'd rather be out doing stuff at the convention, so
That
it's
makes
like
sense.
I'll go to like the raves and the dances, and like we'll have like art jams at the furry conventions and stuff, and so.
Are
Yes.
you gonna get a Comic-Con costume and go to any of them?
If I'm ever in Oregon again,
Yeah.
well, maybe not Comic-Con, but like if I go to Komori-Con, because I
Yeah.
like the smaller, more, I mean, I don't know, you get more for your money when you go to a smaller convention.
That makes sense.
And so Komori-Con, even though it's grown, it's still a smaller convention, and so if I was going to go to one again, it would be that one.
Gotcha.
And since I've got a lot of friends in that area, I'd probably just go borrow some of their costumes, because we don't really have any out here in Montana anymore.
I know, that's kind of a bummer. Montana's too small right now, but
Yeah, I guess
it's
they tried
growing.
having one in Missoula, and it tanked.
Really?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Wow. That's kind of a bummer.
I know, they're fun.
Yeah,
We need to get some kind of fun convention going.
I know, I haven't gotten to go to anything like that, Chris talks about furry conventions and stuff and how much fun that those are. And
Yeah.
kind of gets me excited and bummed that I haven't gotten to experience any of these.
You got to go to Oregon with us one of these
conventions.
times.
Oh yeah, that's already on the bucket list right now. Go to a furry convention.
Yeah.
He was already talking about wanting me to dress up as Rockstar and just film me going around talking to people. And get
You probably
that
make a good rock
experience.
star.
I don't know.
Maybe. You might be a little too peppy for Rockstar's character.
Yeah, it sounds like even all the furry costumes, you have to have the persona as well, or fursona, I guess, is what they call it. So
Yeah.
you gotta have that attitude.
Well, and it's the
of
same with the
character.
anime. Like, you don't want to dress up as an anime character who is always happy and peppy,
If
and
you
you're
can't be that
not
way.
a happy peppy person.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
you don't want to dress up as someone who is, say, like, one of the gunslingers, and you're just a happy peppy person. You're obviously a conflicting personality. So it's really good at like matching your personality or being able to adjust your personality
That
for what
makes sense.
character you're going to portray.
So, what kind of animes do you watch? Do you watch any?
I do. Full Metal Jacket's one of the ones that I like.
Ooh, I hear a lot of good stuff
It's
about
good.
it.
And they recently did like a live action one. Not as good, but it's still pretty good.
Who's the main character in that?
I don't know, and they don't speak English. It's all subtitles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they did a really good job on it.
Wow.
Um,
I'd have to check that out.
and then I've been like a classic like Pokemon person forever, so
Favorite
I
Pokemon?
watch Charizard. That's why he's
Charizard.
tattooed on my shin.
Oh, what? We're
Yep.
going to have to get a picture of that.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good
And
one.
then one of like the not as popular ones that I like to watch is Fruits Basket. Like I could watch that one like a million times over because it's just so cute.
Fruits Basket.
Yeah, it's about the Chinese zodiac.
Oh,
And
whoa.
yeah, so there's like this whole family. It's the Soma family.
Yeah.
And they're all part of the Chinese zodiac. And if they get hugged by someone of like the opposite gender who's not part of the family, then they turn into the animal of like the zodiac that they represent.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like this whole like big story, but it's really cute. Like I've read the comic, I watched the anime.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do a Comic-Con soon and we'll have that option, but
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm pretty much out of questions. I mean, do you have any interesting stories from the events that you went to or anything? Did you go and dance or anything?
Oh yeah, dancing's always like the fun part. Like,
Yeah.
I love going out there and dancing, even if like you're not in costume. Like no one's gonna kick you off the dance floor. You can still dance
true.
and be part of everything. Like they're a really accepting group of people as long as you're not gonna break their stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's really fun.
Lip sync battles?
See, I didn't do lip sync battles. I'm not a big lip syncer. I'd probably just start singing, and I don't think people really want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm terrible at lip syncing. I end up just singing the song, and I'm not a very good singer, so it's
Yeah.
like, ugh.
No, it's fun to watch though, because they get super into it. And I know there was one. I don't remember what song he did, but he was like in full costume, and he was doing like the theme song for whatever he was dressed up as. But I'd never even heard of that anime.
What?
But yeah, it was. You learn a lot of new stuff there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so he was like just busting it out, and he was great.
When you flip through like Amazon or any of those, there's just so many animes that are
There's a lot.
You just don't even hear about because it's not as popular in our country.
Yeah, well,
or
and
whatever.
even on like Netflix or Hulu, they have a whole anime section. You can go on there and find some. Like that's how I found one called Spice and Wolf, and that one turned out to be really good too.
The one that I ended up ever watching all the way through, and I got pretty addicted to it, was the Claymore. It's called Claymore, and
I've seen that.
that was such an awesome one. But they only had I think it was 2 seasons.
Yeah, they only had 2.
I was like, no, I can't
All the
believe it
good
wasn't more
ones don't
popular.
get enough seasons.
I thought it would have been more popular. I mean, it was semi-Americanized feeling, so
That's
I
probably
figured
why
would
it
have been-
didn't last.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But, well, shit. I'd say that wraps up this episode about Comic-Con. We got a good little view into the Comic-Con world. Hopefully we'll get to go together one of these times. And I'm not lip syncing, just saying. Not gonna happen.
We'll see. We can liquor you up.
Right. Alcohol makes anything happen. All right.
That's true.
Well, that's it for Hardly Adults this episode. Catch us next time. Bye.